Hello, Brother Munro here. Welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts, and a slightly different series, take on my shipbuilding 101 stuff. If you've seen that, so what I wanted to look at was if you're a new player to Ultimate Admiral, and you're trying to build ships, and you're trying to come up with designs that are effective. And so on. What sort of ships are you supposed to build? So, the campaign's not out yet at the time of recording. However, what I wanted to do was I wanted to try and build some ships that you can use as a kind of reference. So I'm going to go with a modern destroyer. This is not the best. This is not the destroyer leader. This is the top tier, but better than a destroyer 3 or 4. But it doesn't include these ones. So it's a small destroyer. And I'm going to go for a kind of multi-purpose type of deal, where it can do lots of things. Just as act as a fleet screen, fire off some torpedoes, uses depth charges which are on the ship but currently non-functional, and just act as a nice all-rounder fleet screen. So we need a torpedo launcher. We'll just stick that there on the back. It would be nice if we could have. How big a gun does the Superfire fit? Does it fit a 4? It does. Oh, that's pretty nice. But not a 5. Interesting. 4 double? It does. Ah. Okay. I'm not sure which one I'm going to go for in that regard. So, in terms of guns, I'm actually thinking that single 5 might be quite a good bet. So let's go for the medium firing barbette. And just some 5-inch guns. Ships overweight, that's understandable. Yeah, the whole point is that you super fire over. I hate these really super tall turrets. There we go. So only 3 of the things, not very much. Just trying to go for a really cheap kind of throwaway ship is kind of my plan. So displacement wise, we can go all the way up to 2,000 tons if we wish, but the smallest I can get it physically on this size is 1,900 tons. So I'm going to go for a 2,000 ton destroyer because it's a nice round number. There we go. Engines. I'm a fan of the Marine Diesel for its ability to keep the engines going. I think that's really, really important. And I like naturally aspirated ones, which will set the speed of the ship. Now, what you're going to find is I'm going to be doing videos on all the other types of ship, and I kind of want them to have some similarity. So you kind of trying to build, imagine me trying to build a fleet that can work together, that has interoperability. So all ships must be able to do at least 30 knots. This one can do 37, and they must all have very long range. It's just a challenge I'm setting myself in terms of the build. In terms of armor, we'll obviously get grip 4 just for the weight reduction. As well, I might up the guns later. We'll see what we can get. So we want radar so we can find enemies. We want sonar, a good rangefinder. We would want an RDF, so that we have top end radio, so this can act as a scout. we would want those torpedoes to be nasty. I'm not a huge fan of oxygen torps. Let's go for electrics. The sneaky ones. Autoloaders on the guns. Probably go for high TNT shells. And an advanced hydraulic turret system. I've noticed that we've got an enormous half-weight offset, which is due to that torpedo launcher. Torpedo launchers are very, very heavy, 200 tons, compared to the gun turrets, which are only 77. So I might have to do some revisions. As well, we could... One thing I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce the torpedo ammunition. So this comes with 8 shots per launcher. That does 1 salvo with a reload, which I think is more than enough. I actually want... Devs, make reduced ammo torp, no reloads, and make it the default, please. And then make this a reload and there's 2 reloads, please. I would really like that. And also this should have an explosion reduction chance or something. We're going to want an auxiliary engine and a propeller shaft. And yes, I know I've gone overweight again. Probably don't need anything more than a single hull bottom or an anti-flooding system, because let's be honest here, if we get hit by a torpedo, we're doomed. So the only other thing, I could go for light shells. Yeah, there we go, light shells. Because the guns are only there to try and kill other destroyers, really. High TNT, by the way, if you're struggling with weight, is really handy, because that minus 1.5% hull weight. Now this leaves us with 10 tons to play with. Can we fit an anti-flood one for 10 tons? No, we cannot. I noticed as well this is a standard bulkhead destroyer, which is fine. And it does have a little bit of armor, which is nice. So, unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to get an anti-flood or increase the bulkheads. But what we can do is we can increase her belt armor up to the maximum, which is always fun. That should help her resist 2 and 3 inch guns quite well, I would think. Yeah, that's pretty much us. It's just that weight offset. So what does a weight offset do? So a weight offset, if you have it on your ship, basically what it does is it damages the accuracy of the ship. See, this thing has almost no roll, but it's a huge pitch of 33.8, which reduces our accuracy by 8.5%. It doesn't handle very well in bad weather. Increases our chance of flooding, decreases our acceleration, decreases our turning rate, all sorts of nasty things. So we don't really want that. Let's have a look now. How could we balance the ship out? So one thing we could do is, obviously we need a torpedo launcher. So this is tucked in as best we can. So can't really move that. Now we do have a 4-weight offset currently. So one option would be to go with a smaller torpedo launcher. That significantly improves things and get it down to 5.6%. We just go for a dual torpedo launcher. Okay, that 5.6% on a destroyer, that's not too bad. Other thing we could do is try and move these guns forward. But it's not liking that too much. The other thing we could do is, instead of these single firing 5-inch guns, single barrel, sorry, we could go for dual barrels, which does improve things. And then we could even go for triple barrels. No, triples send us over the weight limit by quite a lot. So we could go for dual barrels. Okay, 99% of our weight. We do that would allow us to fit an anti-flood system. No, it wouldn't. Not by a ton. Okay, let's go for an anti-flood, just in case we get hit by a shell or something. And we'll shave a little bit of armor belt off to get that on. Okay, there we go. A very simple, straightforward little ship that I think would actually be quite effective. Now, the cost is interesting because if you look at destroyers of this period of the US Navy, you will find the Fletcher-class destroyer, which had a cost of 6 million. This one's obviously more expensive at 9, but it is in the same kind of ballpark. Now, in terms of guns, a Fletcher had those single caliber, they often just had those single 5-inch guns that I started with. So this is more heavily armed, less in the way of torpedoes. So this is more of an escort ship, but I think this would actually be quite an effective ship in the game. So this is the Munro Design Yards. Have I got caps lock? I do have caps lock on. Why do I have caps lock on? This is the MDY Mark 1. And I might return to this and fiddle around with it and adjust it. But I think that's quite a nice ship. Just over 9 million, 2,000 tons. That's not very much for a destroyer. And just to try it out, I have loaded up a Japanese enemy destroyer for us to have a go at. Just because, you know, you've got to have some battles in there. We're going to switch this to save. And let's see how this ship does. And, yeah, I think this would... this is a lot of features you don't normally see on ships on my channel, anyway. Because of... you know, you're normally playing custom battle, where you don't have to worry about budget, and as well, you don't have to worry about, you know, range or anything like that. But this does have some nice features. It's got that range. It's got the radio. It's I think it's a nice balanced ship. But what I'm curious about is if those light 5-inch guns with the high TNT are effective at killing an enemy destroyer. And I hope that they would be. Obviously, in real life, those 5-inch guns would be hit straight away. That's nice. Would be dual-purpose AA guns as well. No secondary armament on this ship. I did think about putting some 2-inch guns on here or something. But I think just light 5s, 6 barrels should be okay. If you watch my Firepower Sweet Spot video, you're thinking, well, if you said if you go duels, go for 4. Yes, but one of them has been replaced by a torpedo launcher. Is kind of how I think about it. Definitely scoring hits on the enemy. In fact, I think I saw an overpen there. I'm not seeing torpedoes coming out from them, but you would expect them to be launching the things, so I'm just going to turn. They have a lot of torpedoes. They're carrying 9, 10 of the things. Fortunately, destroyer versus... Oh, there they are. We're able to spot them. For a destroyer versus destroyer fight. Why have we stopped firing? There we go. The Kiyonami, a smaller, lighter ship. More expensive, though, at 10 million. Interesting. This is a more expensive ship. With exactly the same number of guns. Using standard cordite shells. I just saw a torpedo there. do they have sonar? Yes, they do. Of course they blooming well do. So the torpedoes on this ship, whilst I could fire them at the destroyer, and the ship is allowed to do so if they have a solution, they being 24-inch electrics are way better at attacking enemy capital ships. I just noticed we took a hit there that caused quite a lot of flooding on the front. It's not very nice. Put our own smoke screen up. Ah, took out a main gun. That's very nice. I don't think we took in that many. That's a lot of flooding. It's ridiculous. We not scored flooding hits back on them? Oh, we fired a couple of torpedoes. See if they do anything. Again, why are we not firing? Oh, we're waiting for the rear turret to come around. Thank you. See, we're actually overpenning them, which is interesting. Wasn't actually expecting that with a light shell. And they're overpenning us as well, though, so never mind. Ah, flooding it in return. And our pumps have kicked in and started pumping water out, which is good. They just fired a single torpedo, so don't want to be in range of that. They are slightly faster than us, 40 knots. And there's their torpedo. Start firing on them again. Coming across our front. So we're having the super firing turrets actually helps me quite a lot. More fires. Flooding hit. That's what we like to see. They've got a lot of flooding. And down they go. And in return, we've taken not too much damage. Just that flooding hit, which just needed the water pumping out. Anyway, there we go. A little bit of a reference design. Just something I was playing around with in my head when I was thinking about Ultimate Admiral. And I thought it might be helpful for you guys to have just a couple of ships to copy the design of if you wanted to. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Let me know in the comments down below what kind of ships you would like me to build. I will be doing just one of each type, just as examples, but if there's a particular type of ship or you don't want me to do endgame tech, I'm only doing endgame tech because that's the easiest reference point. Let me know in the comments. What would you like to see in terms of a ship that you need for your fleet? And Munro Design Yards will try their very best to produce something that meets your needs. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time for some more Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Bye-bye.